Thanks, Ron. Glad to be here.
So how big a thrill is it to be at the rodeo? This is your first rodeo performance, right?
This is my second. I did it. I headlined it last year. This is my first time playing opening night and kicking off the whole rodeo season. So it's a big deal to me.
Opening night, no pressure, right?
No pressure. You do it so much. The show is not necessarily where the pressure comes. It really just, I put the pressure on myself to try to enjoy the day and slow down and really live it and be aware throughout the whole day. That's very difficult to do when you're playing NRG Stadium. So overwhelming. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, Ron, to get to do it a second time is wild to sit here and say, because that means I've already done it once, which was my ultimate goal when I very first picked up a guitar, was to play Houston Rodeo like I saw Pat Green play so many years ago. And when I was just a little kid. And so now I'm doing it for a second time. It's wild.
So when did you get to the point where you had to like pinch yourself and like realize that, hey, I'm actually getting paid to do this?
I'm very, very blessed, very lucky to have had several moments like that over the last several years. Signing a record deal with Universal Records, where George Strait had been his entire career, was a pinch me moment. Signing a kind of a face of the company long-term deal with Lou Casey Bootmaker is kind of a pinch me moment. Playing the Houston Rodeo, selling out Cynthia Woods in my hometown. It seems like it's been one thing after another. And it's overwhelming a lot of the time. It's just so much, and it's hard to enjoy it. You feel like it's just kind of flying by you, and you don't really realize what you've been doing the last few months or years or whatever until it's a lot of it's behind you. But I don't know. I've been extremely blessed, and if it never got any better or carried on another day, I'd be a happy man.
Well, tell me, when you first picked up the guitar, but what was it like growing up there in Conroe?
Conroe was, I get that question so much, and I never really know what to say. It was so normal. It used to be a pretty small town. Now it's a sprawling metropolis. It seems every time I go back, there's a new shopping center or a new lane being built, or my grandparents live out in the country, and then my other grandparents live right there across from the high school, and both still do. And so I spent a lot of time at their houses growing up. Played at Conroe Country Club golf quite a bit. Ranched for my granddad, every summer growing up. So played ball all throughout the school year, played football, baseball, basketball, and everything. And it was pretty normal. There wasn't a great big music scene. It wasn't a place that a lot of songwriters stopped through all the time, or big country acts came through. You really had to go to Houston to get that.
What inspired you to pick up the guitar and try to make a living doing that?
My older brother was writing songs when he was probably 16 years old. So that would have made me 9 or 10 years old when he started playing guitar. My mom bought us guitars for Christmas one year, and I didn't take to it as quickly as he did. He started playing and writing songs immediately. And then after a couple of years of watching him do it, I was like, there's something about that I can't get rid of. And it's, they say the game chooses you, you don't choose the game. And that certainly chose me. I was just infatuated with it. And somehow or another, all this time later, I'm still doing it.
And you're like the next generation of a very I don't know, I guess very well-respected Texas singer-songwriters that we've given the world.
That's a lofty thing to throw up there. That's a great thing to say. I appreciate that. But that's I don't know if that title would ever resonate with people when they hear my name, but respect is a huge thing to me. I try to carry myself the right way in the music business and in my personal life. And, integrity and character and respect are three things I talk about with my dad all the time. Just, when you're building a career and you're in the public eye, and it's a lot of pressure in that sense nowadays. It's just a different world and different animal.
Mm-hmm.
And respect is a word that has been on my mind since I was very, very early starting out in the music business, trying to play shows. I just wanted to be respected and taken seriously, and something that I still try to think about and keep on my mind very often.
Well, how do you try to deal psychologically with all the success that you're getting now? How do you not let it get to your head?
I don't know that it ever really could. I'm so aware of the little talent that I do possess. It's not a great amount. Uh, I don't feel any different, and have never thought that I was special, or I just sing songs for a living, and I'm very blessed that people show up to listen to them every night. And I don't think the psychologically is will ever be an issue for me. It's just I'm blessed to be doing what I'm doing, and I hope I get to do it for a long time. And if I don't, um, so be it.
Who are your musical heroes?
Oh man, that's a laundry list. When I was a kid, it was a lot of Keith Whitley and George Strait and Garth Brooks and the Judds and Reba and Dolly and Willie, that my mom and my grandparents really listened to pretty religiously. My brother was really the one who kind of got me into the outlaw country stuff, and then eventually got me into Guy Clark and Rodney Crowell, the Houston Kid, and Towns Van Zant, and a lot of the Steve Earle, a lot of the really hardcore songwriters, and I was infatuated with them at a very young age. Junior high and high school, Hayes Carl, who's from the Woodlands, just real songwriters, and I wanted to be just like them. And so it was kind of a mixture of these classic country singers and these really hardcore, honest, genuine songwriters, and I identified with both of them.
I was doing some yard work over the weekend. I had some earbuds in, and I had it on outlaw radio. And a Hayes Carl song came on called "She Left Me for Jesus."
Oh yeah, that's a great
And I
song.
thought, what a good song!
Yeah, that's Hayes is from the Woodlands, and I ran into him in an airport several months ago, and I just walked up to him and I said, "Man, I know you don't know who I am, but I'm from Conroe. You're from the Woodlands. I went to high school in the Woodlands actually, and he's been one of the biggest influences on me, just as much as anybody else. I mean, I listened to his record Flowers and Liquor and Trouble in Mind, those two albums religiously in junior high and high school, and tried to write a lot of songs, hoping that maybe one day Hayes Carl would hear it and think it was okay.
What can you tell people out there? What can they expect when they see you a week from today at the rodeo?
We're going to come out swinging. It's going to be high energy. At some point, we'll bring it way down, try to break your heart, make you cry, and then leave it, big high energy again. But my thing is always gratitude. I can't stress how genuinely and naturally grateful I am to play a stage that big in a stadium that I've watched my favorite football team my entire life, or 2/3 of my life they've been in existence, and I've watched them play there. It means so much to me to be on that stage and play that show, and to get to do it twice. So I just hope that they can feel that radiating off of me on stage.
What did you used to like about the rodeo when you were a kid?
It was such a big event, and my granddad used to have a wagon and horses, and my mom and them would every year ride all the way from Montgomery County down to the Houston Rodeo and ride in the parade. And the NC Tough Mudders, I think, was the name of his whole deal. And so it's been a tradition in my family for a long time, going down to the rodeo. And whether when we were kids, right, they would kind of just take us and let us ride the rides, and we'd want to watch the bull riding and stuff. And then obviously seeing Pat Green there when I was a kid, it's kind of the first time I realized how big of a deal that thing really is. And so I spent, 15 years after that thinking about it every single day.
When you were talking about your favorite football team, were you talking about the Texans or?
Unfortunately, yes.
Hey, it's going to be a great year next year.
I'm really excited. I just spoke on the 610 radio show the other day, my buddy Landry Locker, and kind of talked about D'Amico Ryans and the hire and everything, and I'm pumped on it.
And you get to play in that same stadium.
Yes, we play Madden. We play the video game on the bus when we're on tour, and so this whole weekend I'll be playing in the Texans stadium, NRG, because we'll play there ourselves on Tuesday. So that's awesome. Kind of a nerdy thing, but I do that.
Hey, I'm a Texans fan too. I suffer with you. Let me ask you about this. So it seems to me, I've heard some of your stuff. I haven't heard everything. I'm going to be honest, I haven't heard every one of your songs, but it seems the songs I've heard, there's a lot of sad, I guess they're sad country songs. You like sad country songs?
My favorite songs in the world are sad country love songs about everything going terribly wrong.
Just like life.
Sometimes.
It just comes natural, huh?
You know what? Those are my favorite songs growing up, and I love to pull emotions and pull at the heartstrings when writing songs, and melodies is really where it comes from. Melodies that, make you feel something. It's usually sad songs that do that. And so I feel like my biggest strength has been, going to that place and writing songs from that place. And now I like to think I can just turn it on when it's time to write a record and go there and do that. And it doesn't work like that. I've really got to still work at it to write those songs. But that is certainly, I think, what I'm probably known best for is sad, slow country songs.
Okay, let's talk about your personal life now. You got married last year. How exciting was that?
Phenomenal. It was kind of crazy. I did it in the middle of a tour. I flew in from Phoenix on a Saturday. We had our rehearsal dinner on a Sunday and got married on Monday. Went on vacation or our honeymoon for 5 days, and I flew right back to the bus to go on the road that night. So it was kind of stacked in the middle of everything. Bless Hallie Ray's heart, she put up with it all so well. But it's been phenomenal. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life and made a lot of bad decisions, but I made a really good one with her.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Let me ask you some questions about. Well, these would be questions that we're going to run this interview today, but let me ask you some questions that will run Tuesday of next week, right before you perform.
All right.
Before you take the stage at the rodeo, how nervous do you get?
I won't lie. I get really nervous, and I never get nervous before we play. I mean, ever. The Grand Ole Opry is probably the only time that I've really been like just beside myself nervous before walking on stage, and the Houston Rodeo. Hopefully this year, it being my second time, I'll be a little more, calm, cool, and collected. But last year it was gnarly. I can't even explain the feeling.
Well, did you throw up before you went on stage? Anything like that?
I did not throw up. I took a small shot of whiskey, and I was like, it's just, you got no choice. You got to go out there and swing it. Whatever last minute thing you're gonna do, it's too late. You just got to go.
Hey, listen, I just listened to an interview with Rick Rubin, the music producer, and he talked about Johnny Cash, and Johnny Cash told him that he would always get nervous before he hit the stage, and sometimes he would throw up. So
I've thrown up before, but I don't know if it was because I was nervous before the show. So
okay. Another story for another time, I guess. All right. Anything else you want to add?
I just, like I said, Ron, I hope that the gratitude is radiating off of me, because I'm so aware of what the opportunity is. It's something that that we got invited back to do this for the second time before we even left the stadium last year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a massive honor. And the fans are number one to blame for that, and to say thank you for that. I mean, if they don't show up and sell it out last year, we don't even have a shot at this year, I don't think. So it's phenomenal opportunity that I'm so grateful for, and I do not take it lightly.
And you're going to have a lot of family and friends in the crowd, I imagine.
All of them.
No pressure there. No pressure there.
No pressure. It's like I said, the performance thing is so, you've been doing it so long and doing it, I've been on stage singing these songs for a long time. So, it's really just about carrying yourself the right way, and it's just another day on the road, but it's not, right. So, that's really where the pressure comes in, and just handling it all with class and grace, and like a grown man would handle a dream come true.
Awesome. Is there anything that might surprise people about you? I mean, like your musical tastes. Maybe you like some kind of music that people might not associate with you. Are there any kind of?
Well, I still listen to like the Houston rap that I grew up on. all the time. Lil Kiki, Mo City Don, Slim Thug, you know, Paul Wall. I still listen to them daily, all the time when I'm working out in the gym and stuff. And so I don't think a lot of people know how much I, you know, kind of grew up. I was the youngest, so everything my older brother listened to was just kind of spoon fed to me. And old school, the early 2000s Houston rap was a staple when I was growing up. So I feel like maybe not a lot of people would know that.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. They wouldn't. Okay. Anything else you want to add? Any last message for Houston?
I love the city. I'm so glad to be coming home and get to do this a second time. It's going to be absolutely electric. You know, putting 70,000 people in a stadium on a Tuesday night is not an easy feat. So I'm grateful.